Okay, it is now 7:01, so I want to go ahead and get started for those of us who are already here. If you don't already know me, my name is Ellen Broen. I am the coach of OperaFit, and I am here joined by my wonderful colleague and bestest friend ever, Jasmine. And we are just going to be walking you through what this whole coaching thing is, why we care, what it's done for our lives, what we see it doing for our lives, and just giving you general information about what's available to you and what we want to offer. So this is just a little inspirational quote that spoke to us. It's possible to create the life that you want to live. So if you just take a second here at the beginning to kind of imagine, like, or really think about what your reality is right now, like how you feel day in and day out, what your schedule is like, how you eat, how often you get to do the recreational activities that you like to do, how often you get to read a book, how often you get to travel. Think about just like the general picture that is your life, that is your habits, and think about what you'd like to change and how that might play, how this coaching opportunity might play a part in bringing about that change, whether it's inside you, shifting habits, or changing the overall scope of your life and the trajectory of it. Who knows? It's completely up to you. So who the heck am I? I'm Ellen Broen. Nice to meet you. For those of you who are watching this after this is over, please do reach out to me. I know some people who are watching this will be down the line, future people. So if you don't know me, this is a picture of me. My name's Ellen. I founded Operation Fitness, or OperaFit, a year ago, almost exactly, in January of 2015. I am an opera singer, a mezzo-soprano, and I also have conquered acid reflux and recently moved to Boston. Just to get a little bit into my story, I founded OperaFit, and to you guys, that doesn't really mean a whole lot except that I started a business. But the reason I started this business is actually because I was just interested in losing a few pounds. It was Christmas time of 2014. So as I told you, I started this in January 2015. And Christmas time 2014, I was feeling the, bleh, from all the holiday bloat. And I saw one of my friends posting on Facebook that she'd lost like 10 pounds and like really was having a great time with this community of friends that she'd made. And they all had this big accountability group and a program that was really great. And I was like, hey, I want that. And so I signed up for this program. I had this crazy thing called Shakeology and the 21-day fix, which we all know have those wonderful, colorful portion containers and the 30-minute workouts. And I was like, wonderful, I want to lose weight. So that was my initial intention, but I really actually came into this not knowing what I was looking for, but I found something that I had really deeply been searching for longer than I had realized. So to give you a little context, when I founded OperaFit, I was in my second year of grad school as a vocal performance major. I was the lead in the opera. I was Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. I was planning my graduate recital. I was taking a full course load. I had 3 part-time jobs. 2 of them were church jobs at different locations, and one of them was an office assistant for 20 hours a week, in addition to all my schooling and music learning and all the things. And it was one of those things where I was really enjoying my life as a student and as, a very productive human being. But there was something really deeply wrong, and that was a few things. One was my health. I had been battling acid reflux for ever since the beginning of college for me. And I had gone to gastroenterologists, I'd gone to ENTs, I'd gone to nutritionists. I'd been through everything. I'd gotten all the tests. I'd been told all the diets. And it came down to them just sending me pills, new scripts to try. I called myself a walking science experiment because it was really just, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's try a new thing. And it was just kind of an emotional battle as much as it was a physical battle. And being a singer, when you have reflux, I'm sure many of you know, it will affect your voice. It will affect everything about your body and how you connect to your breath, how you sing, how you resonate, how you sleep. It affects everything. So the idea for me of being kind of addicted, if you will, to a medication for the rest of my life in order to have a career in singing was immensely scary to me. And I actually considered many, 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 many times quitting singing because I thought, well, this is clearly not the life for me. If my voice is messed up from a stomach condition that will never go away, and stress exacerbates it. So if I'm going to live a stressful life, this is not for me. And everything about that changed when I had Shakeology. And we'll get more into that later. Jasmine and I both have very, very powerful transformation stories that relate to Shakeology. But essentially, my body was changing in response to this program and these superfoods. And this community of people was actually something that I really had no idea I was looking for until I discovered it. And it just changed my life. And for me, not only finding out about how this whole thing could be turned into a business that fit around my life and fit around my dreams, but also helped my health, was absolutely just everything I'd ever been looking for. So that is what I brought to OperaFit. And now I want to turn the tables over to Jasmine, who has an equally amazing story.
Hey, everyone. Real quick, down in the bottom left hand of your screen, you'll see a little microphone. If you could hit that, it says mute my audio, and that way, we won't get too much feedback from everybody. But thanks, Ellen. So I'm Jasmine. If you don't know me, Jasmine Jante, and I founded our Healthy Dogma Pack. My whole journey actually started years and years and years ago, about 7-8 years ago now. And it started with IBS, which I got my first semester in college and had to go home for weeks and was in and out of the hospital. Lived 6 hours away. My college was 6 hours away from my home. And I missed the homecoming parade and the homecoming concert. And as a musician and with a music education major, you just don't do that. And I did. So fast forward a little bit, I made it through school. I changed my diet a bunch of times. By the time I left college, I was gluten-free and dairy-free and vegetarian. So I was basically gluten-free, vegan with a few exceptions. And I decided to do this crazy thing and go to Teach for America in Detroit. So now I'm even further away from home. I have no support system, and I'm teaching in the lowest inner city school in Detroit. I mean, I'm talking I was at the lowest school in Detroit. And I love Detroit, and I love my kids, but let me tell you, it is a stressful thing. And I was teaching general education. I was teaching first grade when I went to school for music ed. So I had, a training in the summer for 6 weeks and went straight into the classroom, and everything just kind of churned back up. And what happened was I lost my identity. I lost who I was as a person. Everything about me just kind of left because I had now one sole purpose in my life, which was to get these kids, through first grade. And it was really hard. It was really hard, letting go of literally everything that I had come to know about myself. And it made me a lot stronger, but at the same time, it made me feel very much in a place of lack. I became very depressed. We're talking really bad thoughts. And I had just enormous amounts of anxiety. And I was just in a really bad place. And over the course of the next year in Detroit, I slowly kind of came out of that. I did some things on my own. I got my dog. She was immensely helpful, but I had been much like Ellen, searching for something to ground me and searching for something to give me a greater purpose and make me feel like more than a teacher, because often teachers just have so much to do and never enough time that you literally don't feel like anything more than a teacher, and you never feel like you're enough because you're dehumanized. So within the community, I mean, Ellen is my coach. So for me, she was the crazy girl posting on Facebook and reaching out. And I, immediately, like, we've always pretty much stayed in touch since high school, but we reconnected and I was on board. I did a challenge last February and it's just been uphill from there. I will talk a little bit more about my IBS journey later, but like in some, I'm fixed. So after since 7-8 years, it's a big deal. And recent Nashvilleian. Live in Nashville now, still a teacher, but this is my calling for sure.
So what we'll be covering today is basically what coaching is and what coaching isn't, who should be a coach and who's really not cut out for it, which I can guarantee you is not anybody of you watching this video. What tools you'll need for success as a coach and as an entrepreneur, what costs are involved, what sort of commitment is expected, and how we would train you, what sort of resources you have at your disposal, what sort of travel's involved, and what incentives there are in the business. This is a lot more than just, okay, we sign on to Facebook and we run a challenge group and we do the exercises and, we go woot woot to people. This is so much more. This is a huge community that's nationwide where we get paid travel to travel the world, travel the country as benefits and as part of our pay system as a health coach, which is incredible. I don't know about you, but if you imagine a life of travel, this is a huge, huge incentive to me. We already basically kind of touched on this, but my dream for OperaFit, and the reason that I named it OperaFit and the reason that I started this team, and that, I was public about it enough on Facebook for Jasmine to notice and to reach out to me, and now for her to be on this path with me, is because not only am I changing my life, I'm changing my health, I'm changing the way I think about food and fitness and how my body relates to my daily life. I'm also pursuing my dream as an opera singer and completely carrying a business with me that can go absolutely anywhere with me. For Jasmine, this is a very different path because she's a teacher, and this has so far fit around her life as a teacher and complemented that. But mine is a little bit different because I'm not a stationary person for the near future. I'm going to be taking, gigs that are anywhere from a week to 6 weeks long all over the world. And how the heck am I supposed to pay for that? How am I supposed to build something that's meaningful to me that is not just a Starbucks job in between singing gigs? It's something that means something to me, that makes me a better person, and that in the end actually helps other people change their lives in a huge way, as Jasmine is evidence and as the 100 people that are in OperaFit will testify. So that is basically where I'm coming from. Jasmine, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else to your story.
So real quick, I know I mentioned a lot about my story, and I just want to say that helping challengers find, and especially teachers, helping them find a system to create, physical health and good vibes and well-being and self-love and balance in their life is so huge for me. The fact that Beachbody has a system and it freaking works. You will get results, and that is massive. And I don't know how many people I helped last year off the top of my head, but I do know that helping people as a coach become a coach is the greatest gift that I get to share with people, because now you're not only creating wealth physically and health-wise, but you're also creating wealth financially and being able to pay that forward and live in a state of gratitude of just this is amazing to me. So I just kind of wanted to share that because I think a lot of time people think that I'm a coach, I'm going to help people get healthy. I'm going to help people find a system to fit into their life. But really, the greatest gift we have to give to people is this opportunity that they can make their life whatever they want. If you're a teacher and you don't want to teach anymore, well, hey, guess what? This is for you. So just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Super.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of what makes this a really life-changing thing for everybody involved. I see that we have Denzel on the line. Denzel, would you mind just hitting the mute button on the left-hand side of your screen so that we don't have a lot of feedback? Thank you. Okay. So what is to come? We're gonna be looking back on 2015 and what is to come. But basically, just to kind of give you a preview, this was one of the best years I've ever had in my whole life. And part of it is because Jasmine and I paired up and became unstoppable in this business, in this team, in this trajectory to changing our lives. And just on the left-hand side, you see a couple pictures of us from we call it Coach Summit. It happens in Nashville every year so far. It may change locations in the future. But it is basically something that we as coaches earned completely for free to go and hear these incredible speakers who have done all sorts of things. One of them was the National Geographic photographer who's won like the #1 award for photography for who knows how long. One of them was Simon Sinek, who's like a world famous speaker and writer. And there were just tons and tons of speakers that were just mind blowing. It's kind of overwhelming actually, because we just learned so much in such a short amount of time. But it's just an event where you learn so much, you get to team build, and you can see in that bottom picture on the left, there's us hanging in Jasmine's house because we were all just enjoying each other's company and team building while being on that journey together for free. And then you see in March 2016, we will be setting sail on a cruise. Crazy. It is all expenses paid because of the hard work we did in 2015. Jasmine and I were consistent with building our business, and we will be going on an all-expenses cruise this year in March. So crazy times. And then in the bottom, you see what is next year's cruise, the Hard Rock Cafe in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Also an all-expenses paid trip that is completely sponsored by Beachbody. So just to break it down for you, this is our organization. I know it's kind of weird at first, but because every coach signs up another coach, you can understand that this is sort of like a family tree of sorts. So at the very top, you'll see Team Set Your Soul on Fire. That's with Amy Silverman. She is #2 in the entire company. And she is one of the people who made our team so successful because she has provided duplicable tools for us as leaders. Jasmine has used them. I have used them. My coach has used them. Meredith, who is under her with Soul Warriors, has used them. She's created a system of that's very organized leadership, where obviously leadership is internal and leader-based, but the tools you use to train and to inform about how pay works and advice about social media, all that kind of stuff, actually trickles down from Amy, who is one of the most successful coaches in the entire network of 400,000 coaches in this business. So we are so lucky to have her as our immediate resource. She gives us personal webinars every single week, and she gives us just tons of information all the time to help us be successful at our own businesses, because ultimately we are all our own CEOs of our own teams. You can see I am OperaFit, Jasmine is Healthy Dogma, and then you are completely open to your own team or joining on with us or whatever your vision is, to be your own vision, but still having a support system of other leaders who have done this before, who have made it, and who are really, really building just an immense amount of income and immense amount of power in the world for what we stand for as coaches. Just to give you a little flash forward, Amy has been coaching for about 5 years and is very close to the Millionaires Club. And Meredith has been coaching for 2 years and has surpassed $100,000 in income from this. Granted, both of those people went in full time, and Jasmine and I kind of came in more as part-time sort of things to complement our full-time jobs or whatever else we were doing at the time. But both of us are shooting for that, and we have the tools to help you do the same thing in your own life, to fit it in your own way. So, Jasmine?
Okay, so who can be a coach? There's a lot of like misconceptions about like who you need to be coached. I, for one, thought all of the things on the left-hand side. I thought I had to be a fitness or nutrition expert. Like I had to go get some certificate, right? I thought I had to look like Autumn Calabrese and already be at my fitness goals. I thought that I had to know sales. Like all of those things are so untrue. We talked about Summit, where all of the coaches from the entire country and Canada get together to learn from the best. And literally, there were so many sizes, so everyone looked completely different, and it just goes to show that people are attracted to you because you're you, not because you're an expert, not because you already look like, some kind of model. That's not it at all. They come to you because they're comfortable with you, they've built a relationship with you, and they want to take the journey with you, and they want to be on your journey while you take yours and they take theirs. And that's really, really important to understand, because like you will have so many limiting beliefs if you think you have to be perfect. And actually imperfection is a really solid thing in this business, really and truly. And then being a salesperson, like sales are so gross to me. Like, I'm sorry if anyone out there is a salesperson, but like I worked at Bath and Body Works for 1 season and I could not stand it. I mean, just like going up to people and asking them for money, that is not at all what we do. We share what works for us, and we share it with people with hopes that they will find success too. Never at any point, like, do I feel like I am selling something, because really and truly, like, this has changed my life. So to offer it to other people is really just like offering a piece of my life and hopefully adding value to their lives. I do not feel like a salesperson, but there are some things that you should be as a coach. You have to be ready to share how people can change their lives and achieve their goals, meaning you have to be ready to share on social media. You have to be ready to message people. You have to be ready to put it out there that this can change your life, and here's how it changed mine, and like invite people into your world and be ready to connect. Next, you have to be committed to our products, where I like to call us like the guinea pigs, because we are the ones who, if you see a transformation photo, it's like, oh, like I know that person and that really worked for them. Like they were doing the 21-day fix in Shakeology and that's what happened. Like, let me get that. So you need to be committed to being that person and sharing that the products do work. And last one is improving and developing ourselves, because this is a business of longevity. This is not some get rich quick scheme. So you have to be ready to work on your skills as a coach, but you also have to be ready to like improve yourself as a person. Because if I'm not improving myself as a person, how hypocritical would it be for me to be like, hey, like you should work on that? Like, no, like I need to be working on me too. You have to be constantly building yourself up and sharing that like you believe in yourself and really truly meaning it and getting to that good place and getting to know yourself more and more and more. And at the bottom, we have 3 different levels of coaching, and they're flexible. It's in flux. It's not like one of those things where like I'm this and I'm never changing. The first one is a discount coach, which is essentially another word for a preferred customer. It means that you want to save on the products. So you sign up as a coach. You're not actively inviting people. You're not posting on Facebook. You're not no other behaviors except for you have the membership, which helps you save every month. The second one is a hobby coach, which is you're helping out with the challenge group. Maybe you're posting in a challenge group online where you're inviting a few people a month. Maybe it means like you're taking your Shakeology to work and people are noticing, and like you're helping them by, getting them signed up if they want to try it, things like that. But you're not invested in business builder activities, which means like you're all in. You're a CEO of your business. You set business hours. You stick to it. You are in it to win it. This is like a different level of time commitment. For myself personally, like I am a business builder because this is what I want to do. I want to leave my current field and I want to be able to do this for lots of big reasons why. But those are like the 3 levels of coaching. And, some people start out as a discount and then maybe like they jump on a team webinar and they're like, whoa, I actually want to invite people, and they move up to a hobby coach. Or maybe, they start out as a hobby coach and like for whatever reason, they're just like not digging it a lot, or like they have a baby or like something happens and it's not a priority for them anymore. So they go back down to a discount coach, but that doesn't mean they can't come back. So that's a little bit more about like who can be a coach, and hopefully like can get away with some of the misconceptions, but Ellen's going to talk a little bit more about the common myths about coaching.
Sure. So we kind of already touched a little bit on each of these, but I wanted to specifically address them in a slide because I get them all the time. So to emphasize again, I can't be a health coach because I'm not ripped, I'm not fit, I'm not where I want to be. I don't want to be the face of health in someone's life. That is an absolute myth that would be some sort of attractive feature, that you have completed the journey, that you have a 6-pack, that you did all the work and nobody came along the journey with you. What brought each of you that's watching this, that's here with us on this call right now, is the imperfections, but the trying, the never ceasing trying to be better every single day, to try to feel better, to achieve more, to push our emotional boundaries and our mental barriers, our physical barriers. We shared our journey with you and showed you that these products were what brought us there. And that's what brought you all to us. So what makes you any different than us is really nothing. All it is making the mental decision that you are ready to put yourself out there and being willing to share your journey with other people and inviting them to join you while you work on you. This is not a completed product. Join me if you want to be like me. It's not that at all. Another one is I don't have time. Jasmine and I have very strong feelings about this one because both of us were so busy when this started. I told you at the beginning, I was a full-time grad student. I had 3 jobs. I was the lead in the opera. What else was I doing? Oh, I was planning a graduate recital. Like, I was so unhappy. I just had like literally everything in the book that was just keeping me mentally like kind of busy. I don't know. So I started out, honestly, very honestly, I started out as a discount coach because I was like, coaching, what? But then I was like, oh crap, I like can't afford this. And you skip down to the very bottom. I was like, I can't afford to stay on Shakeology forever as a student. Like, Bethany, what do I do? Bethany was my coach. And she said, if you just become a hobby coach and you share this with other people, you would pay for your Shakeology every month and it would be free to you. And it's not like a huge time investment. You don't have to jump straight to business builder. Like, just a few people a month will completely cover your costs. And like, does that sound like it interests you? And I was like, yeah, I guess I have the time to do that. And guess what? I became a business builder in the middle of grad school. Like I made OperaFit. I decided to just jump all in because I caught the bug and I realized what value this had in my own personal life, in my financial life, in like the lives of other people. And I saw this long term as being something that I wanted to be part of my life. So the whole salesperson thing, the thing I think you would get the most out of our training as a team is how to not be a salesperson, because this is absolutely not about sales. This is, we'll say it over and over again. This is about sharing your journey. This is about your journey, and this is about inviting people to join that journey emotionally, physically, in a community, and just making a better life for yourself. So if you ever did feel like this is some sort of sales job, you're doing it wrong, because that's not what we're doing. That's not how you came to us. Did we like send some sales pitch to you? No. you were attracted to what light we were bringing into your life or what we were doing in our own lives, and you wanted a little bit of that too. And that's the only purpose of this job. The whole, like, the fact that this is a marketing business, some people believe that, oh, well, only people that started in this business early will be the people who stay at the top the whole time. Obviously, I mean, our upline is an example that that's not true. Meredith joined less than 2 years ago, and she was number 14 after 18 months in the entire company of 400,000 people. This is a company that is entirely based on how hard you work and how much you put into it, and the rankings change daily as to who's the top of the coaches, who's earning the most, who's in the Millionaires Club, who earns whatever. This is it's proportional to what you put in and what you accomplish as a leader to what your business does with the company. Again, with the pyramid scheme thing, I have so many thoughts on this one, but I'll just say that at any moment, at any time, if I stop working this business and Jasmine keeps going, Jasmine will far and above surpass me in every way, in income, in rank, in absolutely every way, because she is the CEO of her own business. Yes, she is technically under me as in the family tree of coaches, but I am in no way in control of her income versus my income versus how well our teams are built. We run separate businesses and we have different successes based on our own efforts. So in no way is this locked in any way into, this person will always earn more than this person. So that is just a fallacy. And again, the full-time grad student thing with the whole I can't afford this is just really not a reality, because we offer you the tools in our training to put everything you need to do as a coach into an hour or less a day. And that is the most manageable thing I can think of as far as building a business where you are your own CEO. If you just put an hour a day into building a business, I think that's a pretty manageable thing to not only afford time-wise, but financially. Let's see, Jazz, is this you or me?
I can talk about it if you want me to.
Okay.
Can you scroll down a little bit more?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So kind of just to piggyback on what Ellen was saying, if you want to be a coach, you need to accept 100% responsibility, because it is your business. There's no he did this, she did this, a person said they were going to enroll and they didn't. No, this is your business. You take responsibility for it. And you need to see mistakes as an opportunity to grow. There are so many mistakes that every coach makes, and
Me included.
Mine are different than Ellen's. Ellen's are different than my coaches. So many, but the thing is, we have a team. So when stuff goes wrong, you have people to be like, oh my God, this happened. What do I do? And they also help you prevent that. That's what we do in training. And you need to be able to look at successful coaches and ask, why not me? Guys, this is daring to dream. This will open your mind to just so many possibilities, things that, you didn't even think were possible anymore. When I started teaching, I thought this was it. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And if I don't do this, I don't know what I would do. And then here on a platter, Ellen hands me the coaching opportunity. And all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy a beach house in my life. Yeah, I'm going to travel the world in my life. All of these huge dreams that I never would have dreamed had I not had this opportunity. And so looking at successful coaches and seeing their success and knowing you can get there too. And you also need to understand that to succeed, you need to empower others, but you also need to empower yourself. So you can't empower others if you're not feeling empowered yourself. Staying positive, keeping those good vibes, and really digging into that professional development piece is massive.
Team trainings. We offer you everything you could possibly need to get your business started on the right foot, both with understanding how the system works. We offer right off the bat a business quick start, which is basically how to keep track of how to build your business consistently. We offer coach basics training, a coaching basics, a coaching training, and all the marketing tools you could possibly need for how to best communicate your message and your essence to the public. I mean, it's not, Jasmine and I didn't come into this knowing how to social media. Like I personally used like Facebook and barely even Instagram, but Facebook for, I don't know, YouTube videos and rants and pictures of my food. And that was kind of my little social media presence. Like, here's a picture of my dog. But like now I have not only gained the tools to like craft what I want to represent about my life in a positive and motivated and inspiring way for other people, but that constantly pushes me to dig deeper. If I didn't dig deeper in myself to have something to share, then I would just be posting rants and like, oh, look at this guy who couldn't park his car, I'm going to share a picture of it. No, I'm actually reading books that like inspired a huge thought or realization or like decision in my life that I feel is worth sharing with other people. So the social media is simply a reflection of what work you're doing, and other people are simply attracted to that. So the Coach Basics is only helping you tap into how to be your best self, to put that out into the world, and other people will be attracted to you. You also have just absolute unlimited resources. This has like, Coach Racing News, the National Wake Up Call, monthly newsletter. All of those are Beachbody sponsored, but we have a call on Mondays. We have a webinar from Meredith on Tuesdays. We have a leadership call on Wednesdays. We have an Amy Silverman webinar on Thursdays. You can tap into absolutely anything, anytime, and they're all recorded. So this is one of those teams where it's like, this is the team to join. If you were to join any sort of coaching team, this has so many resources that are not only Beachbody related, but are also just from the amazing leaders that are like above us in the chain. I don't know, who have done this longer and who have been very successful, who share it with us willingly because they are so successful leaders. Like they wanna inspire others to be leaders. So we would supply you with absolutely all the tools you need.
Okay, so thinking about if you're unfamiliar with Team Beachbody, this is how it works. We give you training. We teach you how best to do this job. You come in with genuine optimism and caring, and you reach out to other people and you invite them to our challenge groups, which means they're on a Beachbody program, they're drinking Shakeology, they have one-on-one support from you, and they are in our online wellness community, which you will tap into ours as we are your coach. And as that happens, we gain momentum and success in our business. Now, the benefits of this system and joining with Beachbody, number one, you're going to get 25% discount on all your products and programs, which means Shakeology is going to be discounted for you, which means you want to get a new program, it's discounted for you. You're going to speed up your personal success, meaning accountability. You better believe that as soon as I had a challenger in my group, I was posting every night, and you better believe that every day I didn't do a workout, I felt it twice as much, because now I have people with eyes on me who are watching me. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. If they see me slowing down, they're going to think it's okay for them to slow down, and I'm not okay with that because I love them and I am their coach. And they have great goals, and so I better show them that I'm showing up for me and I'm showing up for them so that they show up for themselves. And with that, you increase your own fitness results. Like, duh, you do it better, you're going to get more results. And when you get more results, you're building your confidence and self-esteem. It's just this super big compound effect of positivity that will happen in your life. And as you do that, you're creating income. Now, of course, this is a go at your own pace thing. If you're a full-time whatever and you don't have more than an hour, I get that. I've been there. I do about 2 hours every night, sometimes more because everything is really fun. But if you only have an hour, that's fine. You go at your speed, you set your intention and you do that. And like we said, benefits of being with our team is we have new coach mentorship programs. Ellen and I do calls every week with our coaches. We are truly there for you 100% as you're building your business. And as I mentioned before, we have those private Facebook groups, support, weekly calls, And there's that power of part-time. This is a part-time thing for you, most likely when you're starting. Maybe if you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you can do a little more when the kids are down or whatever. But there is power in knowing that it's your business and you take it at the speed that you want. And this is, as I mentioned before, like when you're in the daily grind of things, like you forget how to dream. You forget why you came into whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you do for a living, whatever you do for your lifestyle. You forget why you started. And throughout the grind of things, sometimes it's just isn't there anymore. And that's okay. But when that happens, you just keep grinding it out and you forget that like you could change and make new dreams and make them a reality. I recently heard on a coaching call this saying that people are willing. It's sometimes easier for people to stay in a job they hate for 40 years rather than build a business for 4 and achieve everything they want. To put hard work into a business for 4 years and end up living in Puerto Rico, like our coach Amy, right? Versus just like going through the grind of being a teacher for 40 years and hating it. So this like really brings in that whole idea of dreaming again. And it did that for me. I felt this complete like reinvention of self last year, and I dreamed new dreams and I made new vision boards that were just like, on a teacher salary? What do you mean? And now it's just all wide open. So it's like a really powerful feeling.
Absolutely. And just to tag off of that, I completely relate on a completely different side of the spectrum as a professional musician. I have kind of a big blank slate in front of my life. It's like, okay, I'm a professional musician. My life revolves around audition, gig, audition, gig, audition, gig. But what do you do to fill the gaps? How do I pay the bills? What do I do? And so most people kind of get stuck in a rut of, I'm only worth so much because I'm not good at anything other than my music, or I'm not good enough to really, or I don't have enough time to really invest in, something, some other part of your dream. And people just kind of get in ruts of working in coffee shops, being a nanny, being, not that there's anything wrong with being a nanny, but it's not necessarily everyone's dream to grow up and become a nanny. If you're a professional musician, it's probably just because you want to pay the bills and it's a flexible job. So this is something that both meets the need of paying the bills and being a fulfilling part of your life, which ultimately is the purpose of our lives. If you think, just getting back down to why we have jobs as human beings, we're finding purpose. We're contributing to the world. We're channeling the gifts and the intelligence and the heart that we were given to others. And if you were attracted to this business, it's clearly something that resonates with you, that like your health at some point was in jeopardy, or that your weight was a source of shame or frustration, or just helping people was always something, or nurturing people has always been part of who you are. This is an outlet for that, and it's a lucrative one. And to segue from that, how we get paid. There's a big benefit to having Beachbody being our specific sponsor for these programs, and having a fitness-based business. Part of that is Shakeology, which we'll talk about later. The product of Shakeology is a huge part for us. But getting down to the nitty-gritty of how we get paid, this is a commission-based, it's part commission-based and part residual income, which means every sale that we make of a challenge pack we get 25%. So if you're starting off as a coach, 3 sales a month at getting 25% commission will pay for your Shakeology. So that is what we kind of set as a benchmark in Beachbody terminology as what's called Success Club. The reason it's called Success Club means that you are not paying for anything to be involved in this business, because you are surpassing the cost of Shakeology that you are buying for yourself. So 3 people a month is called Achieving Success Club. And the way that it works is that you're always constantly trying to achieve Success Club every month, because that is simply the benchmark that is set of showing you are making progress in your business. Now, Success Club in your first month means something very different than Success Club in your 6th month or your 12th month or your 5th year, because it's a cumulative process. Every challenger you sign up, you get the immediate commission. But if they continue drinking Shakeology, which hopefully if they find value in that program, in that community, in Shakeology, whatever they're continuing to buy long after you initially signed them up as part of the team is going into your paycheck. So if you think about it, I joined a year ago. I signed up 3 people that paid for my Shakeology. Then February came around the next month. Those 3 people that I signed up in January continued to buy Shakeology or maybe changed programs to like amp up their accountability and challenge themselves. I got their commission from their next purchase, and I signed up 3 new people. And that's just kind of the building effect of how this income grows, to the point that, yeah, my first month of coaching, I paid for my Shakeology. And now here I am a year later, living in inner city Boston, paying for my entire rent, my voice lessons, my groceries, my utility bills, my fun, with my Beachbody income. And it's only been a year of part-time work for me. I was in grad school, I was at opera gigs, I was doing other things, and it's only been part-time for me. And that is the sort of income that I've built. And obviously it depends on how many hours you put in, because you look at Meredith, who's 2 years in and making over $100,000. Not where I am, not where Jasmine is, but we aspire to that with where we're taking this. And we would obviously give you all the tools to decide what kind of part-time or full-time income you're looking to achieve. And we have tangible goals each month for you to hit that will get you to those income increments. So if you set a goal for yourself, I want to make $30,000 in a year from Beachbody alone, we can give you the tools to tell you how to achieve that, and it's on you to do it. So that's the wonderful part of this, because it is in your control how much money you make, which is insane. That's the whole like opening up that like treasure trove of dreams, where you're like, wait, I can make more than a teacher's salary. Wait, I can live above the poverty line as a professional musician. Wait, what? And like setting these income goals and having achievable ways to accomplish it is the most empowering thing for coaching for me. And that's because of Beachbody, their amazing products, their payment structure that eliminates overhead costs and all the crap of like, you know, buying. A lot of other people who have distributing businesses have to buy samples and they have to sell them to people. And that's like an ongoing cost that you have to suffer as a person. Whereas Beachbody completely eliminates all of that for you. You pay $15 a month and that's it. We'll get into more of the cost of what this is a little bit later. This is just kind of a yay Beachbody. We are actually the leaders in any sort of fitness program there is out there. You've heard of Insanity, you've heard of P90X for years, and they have literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other programs that are not only accessible by buying the program, but you can buy what's basically a Netflix for workouts through their streamable library, which is completely innovative. And that just kind of speaks to the level of innovation that this company has been espousing for a very long time. Jasmine, do you want me to take this or you want to jump in?
I can take it. Okay. So trips and incentives here, we have, again, like when you join our team, you get to come to Summit with us in Nashville. I have a house and a pit bull, so like that's going to be awesome. We have the cruise coming up in March, but you would get Summit in Nashville. Then if you meet your benchmark goals this year, you're going to the Dominican Republic with us next year. And that's just Beachbody. And that, let me just say, that's like the tip of the iceberg. Okay. Like those are trips, but I just got a gift in the mail from Beachbody. And a couple days ago, I got a gift in the mail from my coach. So like there are so many incentives just for freaking helping people, like for an hour a day of helping people. And like, I just get gifts in the mail. Like that's crazy. And then at the bottom, there's a picture of the Outer Banks, North Carolina. I don't know if you've heard of that. But I adore the Outer Banks. Ellen's been there. She likes it, I think. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I don't know. I couldn't remember if you'd been there. And like, we also like coaches will take their teams on trips. And so for the leaders in our business, like we are committed to taking you guys on a trip this summer and, like taking you somewhere, enjoying some time together. And all of the nice thing about all these trips is that there's training involved. So this is kind of, think of it like a leader retreat. You get to go like hang out with all your besties and mastermind about like what's going to happen in the next year in your business. And that happens like all the way up our upline. So meaning like if you're doing a really, really amazing job, like you might get to go to, I think Meredith is taking her girls on a yoga retreat to somewhere in like Central America.
The Bahamas. Yeah, I think it's the Bahamas.
So like, and like that can be you too. So just like thinking about those things, like it's an added perk to get recognized. Like, no one really is recognized in like regular run of the mill, whatever, teacher jobs. It's very rare. So to be recognized like in kind of an extravagant, amazing way is, I just have a lot of gratitude for it. So
for sure.
And go ahead.
So to become a coach, the best thing I can say is to have bought a challenge pack. The people who are sitting here with us on the call right now, I'm sure most of you or all of you have already done this, so it's not, I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but once you buy a challenge pack, that is not only the first step in your journey for yourself, which is really the ultimate goal of this entire thing. But it also makes it completely free to become a coach. Your only commitment to Beachbody would be to yourself, which I think is the best thing about Beachbody. You would get a fitness program and your Shakeology, and with that, you are suddenly able to help other people accomplish their goals as well. So there is no like overhead cost. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to, I keep bringing up costs and I feel like it needs to be covered sooner rather than later. Ongoing costs. I mentioned that we don't have any distribution fees. We don't like take care of other people's products. We just kind of sit there and help people and have our challenge groups and train our coaches and all of that. So for $15.95 every month, we have websites that are made for us, which I don't know if any of you guys have ever made a website for yourself, but it gets expensive and irritating and awful. So I'm happy to have someone else plan my website for me as a coach. They cover everyone buying their own materials, buying their challenge packs and everything. That is Beachbody, all of their handling. And that is your only fee a month as a coach. You pay $15.95 and you're a coach. Boom shakalaka. Now, we have all these different layers to like what's an active coach and what's a not active coach. Basically, it's just easiest to explain if you are buying Shakeology for yourself, which hopefully is something that's important to you at this point where you've discovered what superfood nutrition is to you. I'll go back to the slide before this, which was Shakeology. But if it's important to you, it's not really necessarily a monthly requirement that you buy Shakeology, but it is something that keeps you active. So it's just kind of easiest to say, if you're getting Shakeology every month and you're paying your $15.95, you are a completely active coach and can accomplish whatever you want. That is the bare beginnings. And remember that Shakeology is a completely like selfish thing. You are drinking that every day. It's not like you're paying some other company $100 every month to do something with your money. You are drinking $100 of your money a month, and that $15 is the business that you own. And as the bottom one is something that you kind of tap into later. Once you sign up 2 coaches under you, and you want to kind of start furthering your business, signing up for the club membership, which is basically $40 every 3 months, earns you free customers. So, Beachbody has all these, infomercials and their website and all of that. So people who are just like, oh, I just saw the Insanity infomercial on TV. I want to buy that. And they have no idea that coaches exist. Once you have reached a certain level in your business, which is not very high, mind you, it's just kind of your opening mark of being in business as a coach. Once you open for business in that way, you get these free customers. You are getting commissions for sales you're not making. So that's a huge bonus. And so the fee really down there of the $38.85 is not it's not really accurate because you're getting that money back in leads. And obviously you're drinking your Shakeology. Now, to back up to Shakeology, why this is a monthly cost for all of us. I probably don't have to tell a lot of you, but for those of you who don't know Shakeology that well, we always refer to it as a superfood shake. Why? Because it's made of superfoods. And superfoods are a kind of buzzword in health life these days because of what they do to your, not only your digestive system, which is a huge thing for Jasmine and me, having, reflux and IBS and gastroparesis. Those are all things that we've battled and pretty much cured by having solid nutrition absolutely every day. But it's packed full of probiotics, which obviously aid in your digestion. Your adaptogens, which have everything to do with your stress levels. If you are not getting the right number of adaptogens in your diet, you're going to be more stressed than someone who is. It's just one of those magical things. It helps your energy and your focus. I have infinitely more energy and focus now that I have Shakeology every morning. It clears your skin and firms your hair and your nails. It reduces your cravings, which in turn kind of helps you lose weight. I will just give a big shout out to my mom, who has officially hit the 30 pounds mark in 4 months because of Shakeology. She hasn't changed anything really in her life except starting to have Shakeology. And number one, she's starting to take time. She's a full-time teacher in a high school and a coordinator for the IB program. And she has realized, because she has lowered her stress, she has reduced her cravings, she has met her nutritional needs, she's feeling energized and focused. She's taking more time for herself every day because she's drinking Shakeology. She's eating differently because she feels better and wants to eat things that keep making her feel better rather than things that give her a food coma or through the McDonald's line. Or, it just kind of ripple effects through your entire life of how good you feel and how well nourished you are completely affects everything else and how you treat yourself. And for those who are concerned with, family illness, where you have high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, there are just innumerable. I personally have digestive and reproductive disorders, and everything's connected. And because I am treating my body with the nutrients and flooding it with good things every single day, I'm helping prevent against that. That is the key to preventative medicine. So I think Jasmine has mentioned this before, that Shakeology is basically our medicine through food. And if that's not the most empowering thing you can ever take away from a product, I don't know what is, because I'd much rather be eating these pictures of all these glorious ingredients that are in there than be popping a pill that's made in a factory by a pharmaceutical company. That's just me. But Jasmine, you wanna chime in?
If I were to sum up my Shakeology story in a sentence, it would say, I suffered from IBS for 7 years. Tried everything. And in 4 days, my IBS was regulated on Shakeology. I went from living a life of not being able to tell people, yes, I can go out with you this weekend because, or things I don't know if I can book a plane ticket to go to this wedding in 2 months because what if my stomach acts up and I can't get on the plane? Or just literally even getting my dog, it was but what if I can't walk her because I'm just having so many crazy tummy things? My entire life changed. So if it can do it for me, just imagine what nutrient deficit it's going to cure in you. People have cured cystic acne with this. People have gotten off all their diabetes medication with this. It fills whatever need you have, whether you have a need or not.
For sure. So that's kind of what our philosophy is with this whole ongoing cost thing. Yes, the $15.95 is your business fee. Yes, Shakeology will always keep you active as a coach. There are other ways, and we would explain all of that to you in coach training and all of that. But Shakeology's most simply, yes, Jasmine.
I just want to say that if you look right there, it says $99.24. When you are a coach, how you are saving is you're getting the discount. So if you're not a coach, you're going to end up paying a lot more for Shakeology or whatever products you want to get.
Yeah.
Then if you just sign up as a coach, pay the $15, you end up saving a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah. Even just at that top, you see the customer, $131.95. A coach is paying $99.24. And it's just, I mean, that in and of itself is saving your money. So no matter where you are in your life, no matter what you're doing as a career, no matter what your body looks like, no matter how deep, dark in a depression you are at this moment where everything is just tumbling around you and you don't know how to find the light. This is for absolutely everyone in any stage. You don't have to be a fitness nut. You don't have to have all the time in the world. You don't have to have a high school diploma. You don't have to have any friends you don't have to have a Facebook account right now to start a Facebook account, to reach out to people, to share your journey, to dig deep into your own mind and your own body's capabilities. Everyone has to start somewhere, and everyone has the capability of going over the moon. And that's our goal as coaches, just to take our lives from where we are, do something today that your future self will thank you for. Like, that's literally all this is about. We're trying to help people have a better tomorrow, but not only tomorrow, but today. How can tomorrow's self thank today's self? So the limitations are really only in your mind if you think, I really don't have time for this. I really don't have the body for this. I really don't have X, Y, or Z. You do. You just have to decide it. And then Jasmine and I are here to give you absolutely everything you need to take that to the bank, quite literally. And again, this is just kind of encouraging you to understand that we are not distributors. We are not buying things and selling them on the street. We are not, makeup sellers who have to buy the products and give them, have testing things. This is not about that. We are coaches. That's the reason Beachbody gave the term coaches. We are simply evidence that this is real, that these products are real, that Shakeology is real, that the programs work, that these communities change people's lives, and that we help in that process. And just, again, we came into this broke, unhappy, unhealthy, wanting to change something in us. And, we just made the choice. All it does is take a choice in your own brain that you want to do this, that you want to throw yourself in, or that you want to make this somehow part of your life, because you're looking for a change. Whatever that change is, inside, outside, future, whatever. This is the way. This is a way, and I think the way to conquer a lot of battles that a lot of us are dealing with in our lives. So why not you? Jasmine, you have any inspirational words to wrap things up?
No, I think you covered it. I think it's really, it's important that they know that, you guys are here because you were drawn to one of us. Just imagine all the people who are going to be drawn to you because of who you are. There's a lot of people out there who need help. And, we have that gift. So why wouldn't we give it?
For those of you, while I'm thinking about this whole slide about, we came to this happy and healthy. You guys might look at us now, a year into the business, like, oh, but look at what she's accomplished. Like, look at how inspiring she is on Facebook. Look at all the things she shares, all the recipes, all the stuff. We literally started, both of us, in a depression, not much money, not happy with our state of life, with our jobs, with our friends, with where we were living. We were lonely. We had long distance relationships. We were in school or in a low paying job. I saw Stacy shake her head for a long distance relationship. It's tough. We were unhealthy and had health goals. We were just overall in a huge rut. And look at where we've come. There is no difference between Jasmine and me and any of you watching this right now. Wherever you are, you have a story to tell, and it's only the barrier is only your mind to decide that you are willing to share that and change someone else's life in the same way that we are talking to you earnestly and honestly about what we've gone through as people and how we got through it and how you can help get yourself through it and help other people do the same thing. That's all that this is about. So now I want to open it up to you guys. It's 8:06 on my clock. So if you need to get going, trust me, I won't be offended if you need to get off the call. But for anyone who has a pressing question or wants to know any more details about stuff, feel free to go ahead. I will keep this open for whatever you have. It's kind of like, oh, I wonder how that works.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. It's been really awesome to just hear both of your stories again and know a little bit more about coaching. I signed up to be like one of the discount coaches when Jasmine contacted me back last May. And I tried the Shakeology for a while. I did the 21-day fix. And after I started that and I did the 21-day fix and everything. I was drinking the shakes. And then my life just kind of took a bunch of detours between getting robbed, having mono, getting flooded, working out. I was sick. I was like trying to find a place to live and all this stuff. And basically because of money, I went inactive. I think it was like a month ago. I still have like a month's supply of Shakeology left, but I went inactive just to save money. Like that's the only thing. So I don't know how long of a period I would have to wait again until I would become a coach, but it's definitely something that I am interested, I think, in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the instant you make another order of Shakeology, you are back to being active. The only thing that being inactive means is that part of our pay structure is not only commission based and a rolling commission from previous sales. We also have this amazing thing called team volume, where it's kind of it's helping us be contributing to this giant honeypot of points, I guess, where Jasmine is making sales and I'm making sales and other people on our team are making sales, and it's all going in this big pot. And depending on your rank, you draw a monthly amount of money out of it. So by going inactive, you cut off your supply to that pot. That is the only thing that being inactive means. It kind of sets you back at zero. Whereas like if you're active, you're continually accumulating team points that once you like were active in the business, you could tap into. But when you go inactive, you start back at zero, which is not a big deal. You would just tap back into it once you get back active. But as soon as you make either a sale or a purchase of your own, you're back being active, and it's there's no like punishment for having been inactive at any point. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah.
Any other questions? If you do have any questions.
Oops, all right.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So I'm A31C. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Denzel. I'm a music producer. Actually getting ready to do a show in Austin, Texas in March for Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller.
Awesome.
I've been producing all year, going broke, going a little senile, and feel like I'm just here to help people, so it's cool. I mean, I don't really have too many questions, but I feel like everybody that's here either wants to help themselves or help someone, and just do it. Just help people. I mean, I do it. That's why I produce music. That's why I'm out here hustling, slinging CDs to businesses. I mean, money is nice, and it's nice to hear like you get to work with celebrities and stuff, but a lot of it is fake. And I don't know, like my whole process before like meeting Ellen and stuff, I'm just a real dude who just likes to like be around real people and likes to do something that I feel like if I die, I could be like, I'm happy. You know, it feels nice to be able to put people in a situation where they could be healthy. Like, my dad is like an ex-Marine cop, like 25 years, and this guy like is like one of the healthiest beings I've ever seen. But I look at people that are like my friends, and like all they're doing is turning up at the club, eating food that they don't even know where it comes from. Like, I tell my friends I garden, they're like, "What's that?" Tell them like, "Oh, like I was just growing like walnut trees and field peas. Where does a walnut come from? What's a field pea?" It's just good to. I feel like this is a good way to be selfless and like provide. And what you said specifically, Ellen, was that you're giving something to the world, and even if it's in a small way, it's better to do it in a small way than to be participating in something and knowing that what you're participating in may not come out in a positive favor for anyone, including yourself. So maybe it's worth it.
To piggyback off that, that's one of my biggest motivators as a coach, and my, I guess you could say, why power as a coach, specifically, not just like someone who's interested in bettering my health, is that as someone who is a professional musician, a lot of my world is kind of like, I have to practice and I have to audition and I have to perform, and it's a very small little bubble world that's completely focused on myself. I'm thinking about my music. I'm thinking about my intonation. I'm thinking about, how well did I sleep yesterday so that my voice is in best shape? And, like, it's just like this constant cycle of me, 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 me. Even though it's a selfless act to perform music and to give music to the world, it's a very kind of consuming world that a lot of musicians can live in, where we're focused on our music and we're focused on producing the best thing we can produce, of the highest quality. And when I wasn't engaged in some sort of relationship and give and take of giving, it was just an unfulfilling existence. I love music and I love performing and I love giving music to the world. But day to day, it's a pretty little just bubble world that I wanted to expand a little bit through this coaching. So I totally get why that resonates with you as a music producer who's, just putting music out into the world and helping other people do the same thing, that sometimes you need a little bit more, I don't know, selflessness. I agree. Well, if you guys don't have any...
I said, I just want to be healthy.
Hey, that's awesome too.
Try to be healthy.
We all get here for that purpose too. So anyway, if you guys have any more questions, I don't want to take up your time. It's already 8:15 and we said this was an hour, so I want to respect your time. But if you have any questions, shoot it to Jasmine or to me, and we will absolutely let you know whatever the answer is. And we are absolutely here to help you join on this journey with us, to figure out how to fit this into your life, how to accomplish your goals, how to set income goals, well, how to dream big. We're here for all of that. So just shoot us a message and let us know how you see this in your life and where you want to take this, and we'll make it happen. So thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you listening. This is our very first webinar. So yay, you're our guinea pigs. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Bye, friends.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you.